This is verse 6 of the 8th chapter of the Gospel of Matthew. Matthew grouping together some healing stories. The first one involved a leper. This one involved now a little bit of a different situation, a centurion, somebody of Roman authority, someone that would solicit a certain amount of respect in the community, even if they were Roman. And so this one comes now. The account in Matthew gives the impression that he came himself. Elsewhere we hear that he sent servants on his behalf. Same thing either way. If he sent an agent, it's going to have the same effect. But here it is given to us as if the centurion himself were saying these words. So we have kai, the connective, and then legon. From lego, I say. This is a participle. It's a present active participle, masculine, singular, nominative. So it refers to the subject of the sentence, the nominative. It's the present. We add ing to participles to at least get going on the translation. So and saying would be the idea. And then we have from there the vocative of kurios, or kurie, Lord. And then ho. This is the definite article, masculine, singular, nominative. The pais. This is actually a word for son. It could stand for a servant. In other accounts, this is actually referred to as a slave. And so typically it'll be rendered as a servant, as it is here, even though it could stand for a son as well. But to sort of harmonize the various reports of this story, it'll normally be rendered as servant. So the servant, possessive pronoun in the first person, genitive singular, so the servant of me, that's bebletai. This is from balo, to cast. It's in the passive here, so it's third person singular, perfect passive indicative, is cast upon. It's a rather dramatic word, so it's suggesting that maybe the onset of this disease was rather sudden. We could at least infer something like that. The servant of me is cast in the sense of it, of course, cast on a bed. We assume it's in, preposition with the dative, te oikia, in the house. So he's cast in the house, and then paralutikos. Adjective, it's modifying, of course, the subject. So it's describing the condition of this. Paralutikos is from paraluo, and that word means to loosen. Of course, the word paralytic is connected to this as well, and it is a way of using that word, although it doesn't appear to be paralysis as such. Paraluo actually has the idea of to dissolve, luo with para taken together idiomatically, and the notion is the dissolving of the muscles. The muscles are themselves ceasing to function properly, so the paralysis is following from that. So the servant is cast in the house, characterized by the adjective here of being in a paralysis state. And then denos is an indeclinable adverb. It means severe, grievous, extreme would be the notion. And then finally, participle again, basanizomenos. This is a word from basanizo. Basanizo has to do with being tormented. Being given this horrible circumstance. This is the present passive participle, masculine, singular, nominative, so grievously tormented. It actually is related to a word that means to torture, and so that's probably the sense of it. So the word comes to Jesus. There's no particular requests in it here. It's simply a report, but of course implied within the report is a request that Jesus might do something for the benefit of this servant who is now laid up in this way.